So that's how we shake out with the NFC East. Dub, based on all of those moves, give us your 1 through 4 for the NFC East.
Number one, I'm about to go with the Philadelphia Eagles. With the addition of Saquon Barkley on top of their already rushing attack, they even shored up the defensive line even more. I just don't see how anyone in that whole division, better yet, the entire conference, beats that team that has been composed. And shout out to the front office because they made some very key moves when they got rid of Carson Wentz, when they drafted Jalen Hurts. They had a vision on what they wanted the team to look like. And they
Mm-hmm.
wanted the team to be dominant in the rushing attack, and they wanted them to have a strong defense, a strong front line, good ass corners. And that's exactly what they have. So I got the Eagles at one. Number two, Washington Commanders. I know it's a surprise or it's a
I
shock.
ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at it though.
But when you have someone like Jaden Daniels that's coming in that is ready to rock and roll, and they are speaking very highly about this young man, I can foresee them with that talent on the outside making some noise. New head coach, they got what's his name, Cliff Kingsbury as the
Yep.
coordinator, and I truly
Yep.
think that Kingsbury is good at crafting up plays, and I think with Jaden Daniels transitioning from college to the pros, I think that would be a perfect opportunity for him, and I also think this is a perfect opportunity for Cliff Kingsbury because he has had the opportunity to see everything at the high level, being a head coach, right, at the highest level possible. NFL, Arizona Cardinals didn't really work out for him that well. But he had a lot of success at the college level, so being able to bake those two experiences together, I think, will be excellent for Jaden Daniels. So I got the Commanders at two. Number three, I'm going to go with the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys will experience some slippage, and it's just due to the fact that Jerry Jones never does anything in free agency. You have all these picks in the draft, and they shore up a lot of things in the draft. But the problem with that is a lot of teams get better through free agency. And I didn't see any splash moves during the offseason. And I think that will impact them during the regular season. And if my memory serves me correctly, and maybe I have to look back at the depth chart before the season starts, Ezekiel Elliott is their number one option. Don't know how well it's going to work out for him. And then lastly, the New York Football Giants. I'm not a fan of the Giants. I'm pretty sure you all know why. I like Malik Neighbors. Not a fan of Daniel Jones. I've been talking about Daniel Jones for the past 4 years. He's a Charlotte kid. I rock with that. He went to Duke. I rock with that. But what he's been doing in New York is nothing short of a highway robbery. So, New York Giant fans, you have every right to be upset. You all should have drafted a quarterback, but here you are now, and y'all were able to get a good player, Malik Neighbors, but Neighbors or whatever. But how is he going to be able to get the ball when Daniel Jones is looking like a fish out of water? I don't know, but I got the New York Football Giants coming in last.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to argue any of those picks. I think this division, as it does every season, comes down to the last couple of weeks to see who's going to fall where. It's not the best division in football, but it's one of the most competitive in terms of the level that the teams play against each other, in my opinion. At number one, I got to go with the Philadelphia Eagles, same as you, Dub. I forgot to mention they picked up Jahan Dotson at receiver as well. So an already elite receiving core added another receiver, and just offensively, this team is a juggernaut. Like, I don't think there are many other offenses in the league. Maybe Detroit, maybe San Fran, but it's up there with those elite offenses when you add Saquon Barkley and Jahan Dotson. By far the best team in this division. At number two, I'm going to go with the Dallas Cowboys reluctantly. I'm going to say the Dallas Cowboys. And I think that, something that's going under the radar is the addition of Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook didn't fare so well in New York this past season, and I think that again, adding Dalvin Cook to the practice squad, he's going to be elevated. Of course, I feel like here soon, but I think a two-headed monster of Dalvin Cook and Ezekiel Elliott, who still has something left in the tank, is not an elite level. It's not 1,500-yard season, but he can still move the ball. He brings a veteran presence, and then you still got Dak Prescott. You still got C.D. Lamb and some of those elite guys on the defense. Even with what they lost, I think that this team is going to be competing for a playoff spot. So I got to put the Dallas Cowboys in that second spot. And number three, man, I want to go Commanders, but I'm gonna go Giants at number
Oh,
three. And
crazy.
and it's really again two moves that I think the Giants made that make them a lot better than people realize. One, Devin Singletary in the backfield. Devin Singletary has been a consistently really good running back in the league. He was in Houston and did his thing there for a while. The Giants were able to pick him up. He's going to add yet another layer to that offense. No, he's not Saquon Barkley, but he does well catching the ball out the backfield, and I think he's going to be a good addition to this team. And then the Brian Burns pickup. The Brian Burns pickup makes this defense a little more dynamic in terms of the schemes that they're going to be able to run. And I think he's going to have a renewed energy getting out of Carolina, even though it's coming to the Giants. Still, it's a fresh start for a new team. And I think that's going to be the differentiator between them. And again, the pressure that Daniel Jones is under to perform. I think pressure bursts pipes or it makes diamonds. And with all the pressure that Daniel Jones is under, I believe that he's finally going to show why he is on that second to third tier of quarterbacks in the league. And I think he's going to play well this season. So that's why I have the Giants at 3. Commanders, they made some wonderful moves. They sold the team. They brought in Zach Ertz at tight end, which I didn't mention that either. Austin Eckler, who's coming off an injury last season, but is going to be able to catch passes out the backfield. You got Jaden Daniels, but again, it's a rookie quarterback. So even with all of the talent that Jaden Daniels has, he looks great in practice. He looked great in the preseason. He's a Heisman Trophy winner. So again, best player at the college level. There's still an adjustment that has to be made when you get to the NFL, and it's a different grind week in and week out. And I think that adjustment, even if they look really great at the beginning of the season, over time, he's going to regress. And the fact that he's a rookie and just doesn't have that in-game experience is going to catch up to him. And so I think I can see the Commanders starting off hot. I've actually got them winning their game this week against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think they're going to pull off an upset against the Bucs this week. I think they'll look really great at the beginning of the season, but as players begin to settle in, as injuries begin to occur, which we know that's going to happen, you got a rookie quarterback, and I think we're going to see some regression. So I got the Commanders at 4, but I wouldn't be surprised if through just as Dub said, if they end up being at 2 somehow in this division. So those are our picks. Listen, as always, we need 3 things from you: that Mercedes-Benz treatment, that CLS to be exact. Comment, like, subscribe. We'll be back with more from me in the arena.